You've heard it before, Stardust is the number one resource in Pokemon Go. Reason being, you need Stardust to power up every single Pokemon, and powered up Pokemon are the strongest in Pokemon Go and what everybody thrives for, right? Everyone wants a level 50 Mewtwo. So it's very important, how do we get Stardust in Pokemon Go? And today we're talking about the ultimate guide, breaking down the best methods to get Stardust in Pokemon Go. These are going to be in order as well, and the top method is definitely one you want to be following. So stay tuned till the end of the video where we cover that. Let's start off with number one, which is going to be dumping berries into gyms. Now this can be a great overtime method to grind Stardust. If you don't know, when you feed a Pokemon in a gym a berry, you're gonna get 20 Stardust. You can give 10 berries to 10 Pokemon every single 30 minutes, making it a great way to grind Stardust. That's 2,000 Stardust. Obviously it takes a little bit of time, but 2,000 Stardust for just getting rid of a bunch of berries, not bad. This is a great method over time, using your unused berries, your unused pineapples, your unused nanabs, I don't know, whatever berries you don't end up using, putting those into gyms instead of just deleting them could be a great method to grind Stardust. And I know people who have gotten over like 1,000,000 Stardust from doing this method. You can quickly access your Pokemon in your gyms, by the way, through the menu if you're not by the gym and you want to do this. Okay, method number two, which is going to be sync up your end of week catch streak with your adventure sync rewards. Now first, let's talk about adventure sync rewards. At the end of the week, depending on how long you walk, you will get a Stardust amount. You actually get up to 16,000 Stardust if you walk over 100 kilometers in a week. You can get even more potentially, and all this can be multiplied on a star piece. Everybody knows about the catch streak. On your 7th day, you're going to get a huge extra XP and Stardust bonus for catching a Pokemon. The best strategy here is actually to line both of these up onto a Monday at 9 a.m. because that's when your adventure sync rewards come in. So if your 7-day catch streak ends on Monday, catch a Pokemon after 9 a.m. on a star piece, which we'll talk about star piece in a little bit and what it does. We'll multiply your stars by 1.5. And of course you can multiply your end of week catch streak and your adventure sync rewards. It's just a little small thing pro players do, so they're getting the most out of one star piece. Next, let's talk about the 12 kilometer egg method. So this is a method that is a really good way to grind Stardust, but in my opinion, not the best for everyone, and expensive. Now the strategy involves collecting 12 kilometer eggs. 12 kilometer eggs are collected from the Team Go Rocket leaders. As long as you have an egg slot open, when you defeat one, you'll get a 12 kilometer egg. They obviously take 12 kilometers to hatch, less during, hatch events and stuff like that, but they get you the most amount of Stardust. Specifically, a 12 kilometer egg can get you anywhere between 3,200 and 6,400 Stardust for hatching it. That is huge gains. If you wait until a 2 times Stardust hatch event, that can be even more Stardust. So the strategy involves getting 12 of these bad boys, going ahead and hatching them all at the same time. Then of course, if you throw on a star piece, like we mentioned before, multiplying your stars by 1.5, you're looking at a minimum of 115,000 stars for hatching 12 kilometer eggs on a star piece. Obviously, this can be even more because, every egg is just going to vary in how much stardust you get. And if you have a 2 times Stardust event, even more Stardust. So don't sleep on that method. Again, it does cost a lot of money because you need the incubators to hatch them all at the same time. You have to defeat a bunch of leaders, which you can spend money on radars for and all that stuff, but it is a decent method. Now, if you don't have money, you can follow the next method here, which is going to be PvP. PvP, arguably one of the best ways to go ahead and grind stars in Pokemon Go for a free-to-play player, because you can do it at home anytime. Now, if you don't know, when you play PvP, you're gonna get Stardust at the end of your set, which is a set of 5 battles, depending on how well you did, as well as Stardust on the reward track. However, there's an option to pay for the premium rewards on the premium reward track, which will cost you a premium battle pass, which is just like a raid pass. Once you use this, you only get it for the set, but your rewards are increased. So if you do better in that set, if you win more games in a row in that set, you'll get more Stardust. So obviously, just doing regular battles, premium or the free track, are great ways to grind Stardust. But there's another way, which is going to be Go Battle Days and Go Battle Weeks. Go Battle Days and Go Battle Weeks are special events we get through the PvP season, which you can go ahead and do like 100 battles a day. Sometimes it's 50 battles a day, depends if it's a Go Battle Day or week. They spread it out differently, but allows you to grind a lot of Stardust through PvP. However, these Go Battle Weeks, and sometimes just different Stardust weeks, come with 4 times PvP Stardust. Yeah, sometimes Niantic is just like, you know what? This week, you're getting 4 times rewards from Stardust. So that means those reward tracks we talked about earlier are going to be multiplied by 4. For example, I think at the time we're recording this video, next week is actually a 4 times dust. Also, those Go Battle Days generally come with the 4 times dust reward. So overall, PvP is a great way to grind, specifically playing on those Go Battle Weeks if you can, or those 4 times dust weeks. This was into the top 2 strategies, which obviously are going to talk about something we haven't talked about yet in this video, catching Pokemon. And that is generally just actually the best way to grind Stardust. Catching Pokemon, catching everything you see, is going to be the #1 way to grind Stardust, but there's different ways we can multiply this even more. First of all, catching a Pokemon on Weather Boost will multiply your Stardust gains by 1.25, so catching a Pokemon will get you 125 Stardust, for example. You can obviously use the star piece we talked about before, the item that will 1.5 times your Stardust for 30 minutes. Again, very effective as well for catching Pokemon. You can use the quick catch technique, which I'll link below a video on how to do this, but this allows you to catch Pokemon quicker. The more Pokemon you catch, the more Stardust you get. Obviously, this is not a direct technique to, you know, multiply your Stardust, but the faster you catch a Pokemon, the more Pokemon you can catch, the more Stardust you can get. Finally, we have bonuses where there's 2 times, 3 times, or 4 times catch Stardust events, allowing us to grind a lot of Stardust. For example, during a 4 times catch Stardust event, which we have gotten on a star piece, catching a Pokemon 600 Stardust per. It's like catching 6 Pokemon in one. So when there's a 4 times, even a 3 or a 2 times Stardust event, make sure you play, you're just getting so much more value. But if you didn't know, the #1 method to grind Stardust in Pokemon Go is actually not just catching every Pokemon, it's catching specific types of Pokemon. Because in Pokemon Go, for some reason, actually I know the reason, I'll explain in a second, Niantic have given certain Pokemon a boosted Stardust value. Let's go through it. On screen is gonna be all of them. We have Paris, which gets you a base Stardust of 500, Parasect 700, Meowth 500, Persian 700, Alolan Meowth 750, Alolan Persian 950, Shelder 1000, Cloyster 1200, Staryu 750, Starmie 950, Delibird 500, Shroomish 500, Breloom 700, Sableye my boy 750, Chimecho 1000, Combi 750, Vespiqueens 950, Audino, which is the big one, 2100, Shrubbish 750, Garbodor 950, and then these guys, same values. So catching these Pokemon is getting you a higher base amount. And on Go Hub here, they've even broken it down with a star piece, with Weather Boost and a star piece. Every Paris you catch, 938. That's huge Stardust gains. So anytime there's an event where this Pokemon is being featured in the wild in some sort of way, catch them. Also, if these Pokemon come to field research tasks, you can complete the field research task and you can actually run from those field research tasks. This will put them in your stacked tasks where you can access these encounters at any time. What we want to do is we want to wait until the 2 times, 3 times, or 4 times catch Stars event and catch them then. Yes, an Audino caught on a 4 times catch Stars event. That's 8,400 Stardust. You can get even more with a star piece. That is huge Stardust gains for catching a single Pokemon. So make sure you focus on catching these Pokemon in the wild if you can. Also, there is stage 1 and stage 2 Pokemon in Pokemon Go. Catching an evolved form, whether it's evolved once or twice, will get you more stars. I'll put the values on screen for those. So that is another thing, but the boosted Stardust mons are really the ones you want to focus on. And again, follow the channel here. I'll mention anytime there's a boosted Stardust Pokemon in the wild. It's like catching 1 Fungus is like catching 5 Pokemon. You're just getting so much more value and you're gonna be so much more efficient with your Stardust gains. Final thing I want to mention here is make a small Stardust benchmark is something I always recommend. When a new Pokemon drops or you need emergency dust, I generally recommend having a certain amount of Stardust backed up so you can go ahead and use it if you need it. Generally 500,000 Stardust I think is a good amount to just kind of have. Anything over that you can go ahead and spend, invest into your Pokemon, but it's nice to just have that fail safe. It's like, you know, in real life, you always want to have that, you know, backup emergency money. This is not real financial advice, but have that backup emergency Stardust. It's always nice, especially if a new Pokemon you like drops and you want to max it out. You end up getting a hundo you didn't know you would get. You can go ahead and max it out, use that emergency dust. Guys, if you enjoyed this video, watch the one below. Hopefully this video helped you guys out on how to grind stars, and good luck getting out there, getting this valuable resource of Stardust, because it is the most important resource in Pokemon Go, because without it, you'd have terrible Pokemon. Anyway, follow for this, everybody. Good luck grinding. Peace.